Good evening, Cancer. It's your turn. We're addressing the big question: how will you become famous, if ever? And again, well, I'm saying again, as I've said for the other signs, fame, success is always relative. So, you know, you might not become the huge, the next Lady Gaga or whoever, but we all kind of reach some form of fame within our own lives. But let's see what the cards reveal. They might even show you that you could attain, I don't know, some real crazy fame. Anyway, enough of talking. Let's get some cards out for you. The Moonology deck here is to explore maybe a bit of a timing under which moon phase could fame potentially occur for you, its influence. You'd be surprised, but sometimes, many times actually, fame is related to the moon placement in a chart, as well as its aspects, right? And transits sometimes, or progressions. So it's quite fitting, I believe, to be drawing out of the Moonology deck. Let's see if we can finally get a card. I prefer pop-outs. This one here, just like, you heard it. Oh, hold on, let me get my glasses. Sorry about that. So, new moon in Scorpio. Work through your fears. Interesting. Scorpio being another water sign like you, Cancer. Showing you to work with a darker part of yourself. I'm now going to pull out of the Triad Oracle deck one card. At least that's what I'm aiming for. I want you to see, there's one that decided to tilt. So I'm debating. I'm gonna put it back because it didn't come out. It sort of wants to come out, but it didn't. So, and now a little bit like the other one, two like slipped out, like literally like sneaked out. Interesting. You have door or doorway if you want, but it's door, and you have pardon, like to in French is pardon, so it's I think it's an English word, pardon, right? It means to forgive. But pardon in English as well as in French, it could be in a legal term, right? I believe people that have committed crimes, and this is, I'm pretty sure what I'm saying here, you have some kind of, you have a mention, like you have a record, right? And then the pardon erases the record. The offense doesn't show anymore. So it doesn't come out in any inquiries, any background checks. So that's really important, especially that you have to work through your fears. Did you do anything not so kosher, Cancer? Do you have a shady past? It doesn't have to be, but you might feel like there are things that you have done that you might have had the hardest time to forgive yourself for, right? I think your fame is dependent on that, crossing that threshold for you. Really forgiving yourself, like once and for all. I'm hearing, because the threshold, this door that you're crossing, it's like you don't want to carry this through that door. Whatever memories, whatever impressions you have, or fears you have, which is that word on that card here for the Moonology deck from whatever. You don't want to bring them with you as you cross that door, that threshold. You know, it's really interesting. Have you ever heard like how certain celebrities, because they're, I'm going to use insecurity as an example, but because they're either not loving themselves enough, right, or they don't feel good enough, or whatever insecurities they may carry, when they become famous and they get all this attention and quote unquote love, they get very anxious and they get very dependent on that outside source of admiration, because they don't have it for themselves, right? They don't have enough self-love. And so as soon as anything happens with, you know, their career or whatever brings them fame, they literally spiral down into depression. They could be, you know, doing drugs, alcohol, etc. Like it's often the case. Often the case. It's been known to happen. So it's interesting that, in my mind at least, it requires a lot of strength of character, a lot of self-love, a lot of assurance, right, confidence, to be famous, to become famous, because becoming famous comes with a, excuse the term, but a shitload of, you know, of difficulties, as well as amazing perks, right? But and I think it takes a solid character, a solid personality to really take it in, take it on. So this forgiveness, this pardon is really important here. Let's draw a card out of my makeshift deck. Those words are French keywords on blank cards. I'm staying quiet, sorry. This is, I'm laughing because it's going to be hard to tie in. This is sable. Sable is sand. So you might come from a place where, you know, sand for me is either the beach or the desert. So either way, you could be living by the sea. I think it relates to the sand. For me is also time, right? Because you measure time in an hourglass. It's typically, or it's sand in there, right? So it refers to time as well. So fame would obviously come in divine timing. Timing is extremely relevant in your moment, in that special moment where things turn for you, like favor, fortune favors you. But it could also be that it pertains to a country. So a place where you know, a location, so not necessarily a country, a location where you would find sand, so either a desert or a seashore. Let's look at what the tarot brings. What does the tarot want to say? I don't know if you want to see the shuffle. I'm going to put the camera down. I'm going to show you the shuffle for the tarot. I've been letting the cards come out, and so far mini groups of cards come out. I'm gonna maybe aim for 3 little mini groups of cards. It's been naturally occurring for the other signs, and I like that. I mean, I like what it created for the reading, so I'm gonna do the same for you. This one. Okay. Now I'm gonna show you the cards that came out. I'm gonna explore them with you. Sorry, it's crooked. Okay, first group. We have 5 of Wands in reverse, the Hermit, the Knight of Swords in reverse, and the 3 of Cups in reverse. I'm going to show you and then we'll start reading, okay? The second group is just 2 cards, the 9 of Cups with the 9 of Swords. But then you have this beautiful Knight of Cups coming out under the Sand card. It's important for me. I've been noticing that, I'm going to show you. I've been noticing that sometimes when the groups of cards were falling, they were falling specifically. It's happened a lot here. In your case, you have 4 cards and they're sort of spanning. It's interesting. It's really cool because, sorry, I keep saying the word interesting. My bad. You have 4 cards and they're spanning right under these 3, and these were easily integrated. They work together as I was describing prior, right? So like it really gave me a full message here, so that was working really well. So anyway, I think this works together, so we'll see. Sorry, it might be boring for you for me to explain all of that, but truly it has a bearing on the message. It's really interesting. I'm laughing because I'm annoying myself by because I always say that interesting word. Anyway, you've got all these cards in reverse, right? And that Hermit is upright, so he's so lonely amidst and for now, without reading the cards per se, he's lonely amidst the cards that are in reverse. And so, and then it's followed by 2 9s that are in reverse as well. So it points to me to those fears, the things that you need to leave behind, forgive yourself for, even just without reading the cards. I mean, it's, you know, you have a lot of, okay, this is good. You have the 5 of Wands in reverse, so the drama's ending, or, you know, but there was drama and there's still some potential strife overhanging, right? There's no communication and there's no actually I'm sensing a lot of impatience and irritation on this card. Like this knight is prompt, you know, he's is that how you say in French? We say prompt. It's prompt, like he's quick to react, like not necessarily overreact, but he's like, he gets really triggered quick, you know. And then this card of, you know, not coming together, not reuniting, not celebrating, so there's definitely no fun there. So, and then you have the Nine of Cups that is, you know, you're not too happy. And here the Nine of Swords, it's a little bit like that Five of Wands. Okay, it's in reverse, but it's still like stressful. Like there's turmoil attached to this card, even in reverse. And it's interesting, there's so much black on this card, so like, you know, on the Moonology card you have like this dark moon here, and it's a new moon, right? So that phase where you go deep within, in all these corners, right? The ones that you seldom explore. But what's beautiful is the Hermit is there. He's walking that, how can I say this? He's willing to explore the darkness, and he's only got his small lantern, but it's enough to light the way. And I think the light here is the pardon. And I think the Hermit's journey is crossing that, is wanting to get through that threshold I was describing. And you know, it is work through, so pass through. So work, walk, pass through. There's something that belongs to you about this situation, right? Those fears are yours. They belong to you. So they could be self-created, in the sense that, you know, it's great and very healthy to feel fear in the face of real danger, correct? And yet, sometimes fears, especially the ones that stem from a misconception or a false perception or whatever that may be, right? Or it creates like this big monster in front of you, which is like, it's like smoke, right? It's like, it's not real. That's what I mean by self-created. Like they're just they're phantoms. Yeah. And you know, the Nine of Swords, it's a nightmare card, right? So that kind of illusion of, it's just a projection. I love how, I'm gonna show you, there's like this flame here burning, and I associate it with the lantern here on the hermit. It's the fire within the lantern. So that forgiveness is so, and look, there's like flames on top of this sort of, I guess, black sphere, and there's a rose here, but the flame right here, and it looks, on the drawing, it looks like it's right under the door, but it could be slightly behind, like slightly. So it's this thing of going towards the light. The forgiveness part is humongous in this reading. It's it's how you become famous. This if you it's the game changer, literally. And the other game changer is this here. I don't know if you could see, you can't. Anyway, it's the sand card. Sorry about that. The sand card is right above the Knight of Cups. The cups are water, and I was describing, you know, the sand could describe the seashore. It describes obviously a water sign, so Cancer, you're water, right? You know that. I want to say that you reach forgiveness maybe by going to that particular location. Maybe for you it's going in the desert. Some people love the desert. But maybe for you it's going to the sea, right? So the sound of the water, the waves, the feeling of the sand on your feet and through your hands if you grab it. I was describing in an earlier reading how the drawing of the cup reminds me of the hourglass, and then I was describing that sand was evoking time for me. So time spent there in this location where you basically are able to wash yourself, you know, metaphorically speaking, right? Wash away those fears, those nightmares, those demons, whatever you want to, however it plays out for you. The forgiveness being the water. And you see, it's being offered to you. And it's really interesting because, I mean, I don't want to make them face each other, but I just want you to see, it's like both of these characters hold something in front of them, right? One is holding fire, the other one is holding a cup that potentially holds water, the emotions. But you know, and I was describing how the sand was evoking both the seashore and the desert. So there's something about fire, water, right? It's really important here. You could have placements in both of these elements. So Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces in your chart, or obviously Aries, Leo, Sag. Also, forgiveness is offered, but it's also, you see how you come out, you look refreshed, from being this hermit, like all cloaked and like a little bit, you know, looking old and worn out kind of thing. You come out all refreshed and rejuvenated, and, you know, holding yourself straight and feeling, you know, like you have something to offer again, anew. And even like it's elevated. It's elevated because there are wings on the helmet. So for you, like for you, fame is dependent on this I want to say process. It's like a dark night of the soul, and I don't like it sounds stereotypical to say that, but a cleansing, a detox. That kind of thing. I mean, it doesn't have to be literally that. It's symbolic more than anything. But you come out, I want to say like a winner, but it's not like a winner, but you did win the battle. Like you won a battle, internal battle, right? You've conquered your fears. It's extremely powerful. So that's what I have for you, Cancer. I'm gonna leave it here. Please like, share, and subscribe if you haven't, and thank you if you have. But mostly do come back on the next reading. That's what matters most to me. And I'll see you soon.